Hello again and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all my whips and completed works for October. I've had quite a scattered month in October. My brain has struggled to settle on one or two specific pictures and complete them, so I have a decent amount of books to show you, but I've only got about 3 completed pages this month. My goal at the moment is to complete as many of my current works in progress as possible, with the exception of December, possibly even November. I do want to do a bit of fall coloring pages, and I want to focus on Christmas coloring pages. Christmas is one of my favorite, it actually is my most favorite time of the year, and everything that goes with it. So I will be taking a break from my whips during a bit of November and December. But let me show you what I've been up to. So I'm gonna start off with Coloring Heaven. The first book I got was the Coloring Heaven Mermaid Special, and when I started coloring videos, I started with this page, and if you look on my channel, you will be able to see some of the tutorials I have done. So this month I got out some soft pastels. They're not anything fancy, it's just budget pastels, and I did the background, but the background didn't come out very smooth, so I took a white Uniball Signo pen and I created white bubbles throughout the page. So what's left to do with this page is the fish and just adding a bit of depth and character to the bubbles. I have got a bit of a dilemma. I've done most of this page with Castle Art pencils. I currently don't have my Castle Arts, they are with a friend. So I can either do the fish in Prismacolors or wait to get my pencils back from my friend. Let me know in the comments below which option you would prefer, and I will take it under advisement, possibly even do what you suggest. The next page I've done a little bit more on, but not much, is this page. So I'm coloring this using Arteza pencils. I did these bubbles up here, and I started to color in the crabs, the crab claws. But the problem I have with the Artezas, if I zoom you in, they haven't blended well on the skin, so she looks very streaky and instead of smooth. However, on her hair, it does create more of that individual hair strand. So I think Arteza pencils for me right now work really well on hair, but not very well on skin. So it has put me off completing this page, and I really do want to complete it. I just need to persevere and learn more how to use the Arteza pencils. So this is Coloring Heaven Mermaid Special. The next Coloring Heaven book I have is the Coloring Heaven Fantasy Figure Special. I have 2 pages in here. I did a bit more work on her skin tone. This is using Prismacolors, and I was struggling to really stay focused to complete her skin. So I've done a little bit more and then I've jumped off. And I broke my promise to myself to not start any new pictures because I really wanted to try out African skin. This page is being done with Prismacolors. I colored the frangipanis first, and then I did the skin tone. On Kirsty Art Partridge, I think that's her name, her YouTube channel, she's currently advertising her coloring academy and coloring courses, and she has a freebie, downloadable freebie for skin, and about 9 different skin tones. So I downloaded her free download, and I gone and selected different portraits for the skin tone, and this is the one I chose to use for this page, and this is how it's turned out. I did add in a few purples and a bit of blues in the shadows just to create some more depth and realism on her face and on her skin. So that is Colouring Heaven Fantasy Fairy Special. Then next I have some work in Creative Haven. In the Enchanted Christmas coloring book, I started this page with my 7-year-old son, and everything that's colored in, I used watercolors. I will complete the rest of the page with pencils, most likely Prismacolors. And so that's on my to-do list for winter. Then we have Creative Haven Country Gardens, also by Teresa Goodrich, and I've been working on this page. I used markers for the can, the flowers, the table, the grass, and the sky. I've used Prismacolors to color in the rest of the pages. Not pages, sorry, the flowers, the leaves, and these trees. I have a video I'm currently editing showing you how I work out the shadows of the leaves and how I put in shadows for my pictures. I'm hoping to finish editing it and post it onto the channel quite soon. And that is what I've done here. So that is Creative Haven's Country Gardens. Then next I have April's Forest Girls coloring book. I've, as you can see, got quite a lot of whips, but it's just because I was playing around with skin tone. And I'm working on this page. I used a tea bag to do the background, and I was coloring everything in with Prismacolors, but I really don't like the way Prismacolors behave on this paper. So I picked up my Neocolor 2s, and I've started to build up the colors, copying this page with my Neocolors, and I actually find that the way it's come out is much better than the pencils were. I'm not sure if I'm going to take pencils over it. I'm not very comfortable with watercolors, and I'm not even 100% sure if it needs more. So I may just color it all in with the Neocolor 2s and then call it complete and see how we go. He needs a bit more orange, I think. He's quite yellow, so I'm not happy with his coloring, but I like a lot of everything else. And I think with most of this book I'm going to use Neocolor 2s. I like the way it behaves on the paper. So that is April's Forest Girls coloring book. Next I have Anastasia Ellie Caldereva's books. This is a Marintine, and the whip that I focused a bit on was this one, and I worked on the bird until I decided that we were going to color in a moon behind her and create a night sky. And the thought of creating a moon just completely intimidated me, so I took flight and I ran away. So I decided I didn't have the brain for it, so that's as far as I got. Next I went into When Dragons Dream, also by Anastasia Ellie Caldereva, and I did a bit of work on this precious thing. I'm using Arteza pencils for the dragon, and I'll do the whole thing with Arteza pencils. And I'm trying to layer them very lightly on top of each other and build up the color. So I've did a little bit more along the body here and over down here. But again, my brain just couldn't deal with it, so it quickly passed and I went to a different page. I'm not sure where it is. So this is, zoom out for you a bit. So I was then able to come onto this page for a while and I built up the berries. And I'm really loving the way it's going. I'm using Prismacolors to do the berries. I'll do the whole page in Prismacolors, maybe some watercolor for the background. The blackberries need to be built up more. I want them more this color, so a very deep purple almost towards black. But I don't want to use only black, because black will create a 2D effect. I want to really add depth and shine to the berries. So they all have a lot more work and build up to do it, but I think the red berries are almost complete. And the idea is to have it that the dragons are on a bramble plant surrounded by blackberries, but some of the berries are still haven't ripened or in the process of ripening, and then a few that have already turned black and may almost be ready to be eaten or not quite yet. So for me, the dragons are kind of more, you know, tending to the blackberries, watching over them, then using them as a source of food. So that is When Dragons Dream coloring book. Alright, so my last two books are Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson and Me and Race Dirt Europa by Rita Berman. The whip in Me and Race Dirt Europa is this one, which you may have seen already. I did a tutorial on how I colored this picture here, but I haven't done tutorials on the rest. I'm just getting my head around where I want everything. So it's all done in Prismacolor. I'm using the same colors I did this frame in for the rest of the frames to try and bring a cohesiveness together and tie it all together. I'm also trying to make sure that the sunlight is hitting the buildings or the clouds, wherever the sunlight, that it's actually hitting on some of the things. So I'm trying to play a bit more with my light source. If you want to see me color in one or two more of these mini circles, please let me know in the comments below and I will happily do that for you. My current completed page is this one. I'll just zoom you in. So I loved how this has turned out. I used Prismacolors for the whole thing and it just really has come out lovely. I wanted to create almost a living map. I really wanted it to look like it was alive and moving. I didn't want to create an older map. I just felt like it had to be alive for me. And balancing the colors across the page was quite tricky for me. But I think it's come out really well. And I'm very proud of it. So that is my completed works and whips in Europa. Then in Magical Dawn, I have a lot to do in Magical Dawn. I did a bit more work on this little picture here. I worked on the base here, deepening the colors, because I originally started it with Castle Arts, but my Castle Arts are not with me at the moment, so I'm using Prismas to go over it and just finish it off. And I've already started on the frog. This is one of my completed works. Supposed to be spring, summer, and fall. I just decided to put them all together with the same background instead of separate little backgrounds. And I'm really happy with the way it has turned out. The distress ink worked much better this time round. It's my second time using distress ink, and although this side is quite heavy, the rest has gotten much better, and I think it really does work quite well. So it's a learning progress. The next work in progress I've been doing is this one. I started with the jewels and doing the gold, and I also gave a base layer on the flowers. So the idea is to do green flowers and red leaves because I just want to do something different. My next completed work is here, and I used Prismacolors to finish it off, Dovecraft glitter glue for the circles. I used, I think, Neocolors for the background, and white Uniball Signo pen for the white bits here. And yeah, she's come out really, really well, and I really love the progress I'm getting with coloring in skin. I'm learning a lot more how to balance the colors and really deepen the skin tone compared to you know, this page here where her skin tone's really, really quite light still. And I think that is it. So that is it for Magical Dawn and for all my other works in my other WIPs and completed pages. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment below, and be sure to subscribe for each month's video on what I've colored in, any flip throughs that I do, as well as the tutorials or color alongs I do release when I get a chance. So thanks so much for joining me, and have a good rest of your day. Bye for now.